We talked about the breathing stuff as well, but both of these at these tournaments, it was Peach and Zelda.
That makes sense. Yeah, they're very. Those two are they're both kind of durable, right? Like
Yeah,
you don't really get long combos on them in general. And then on
yeah.
top
You
of
don't
that, there's
really
like
get a throw up air. You have to like kind of call them out to kill them usually.
yeah, kinda. Like you have to do some like you. It's
Yeah.
not. You don't have a direct path to killing them without landing like like
Mhm.
specific hits, like jab up smash,
Yeah.
anti air,
Yeah.
drill shine up smash, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, what do you usually try to? What do you think? So, why is it when they're ahead that you find that you're What do you think happens generally?
Well, I know that they are durable characters, right? I get the sense of urgency, especially, and this is especially Peach and Zelda, where they are just like amazing at trading, right? So I feel like if I just let them keep trading me, I'm gonna lose.
Okay.
They're up 4 stocks to two. I'm gonna lose if I don't like make some hard call outs, and usually that leads to me like up smashing into shield or like naring into a peach or whatever, like, or naring into a short of fairing Zelda.
Yeah, it's almost like the problem here, I think, like, and what I notice here is that we've already accepted this as a certainty. Like
Yeah.
this will happen. There's no like question about it. So I think that's got to be something that we have. I would think that there's value in taking a look at that for sure. Um, why do you think you? Why do you feel that's like? Why are you so certain about that? About how that's going to play out, though?
Um. Well, it's I guess it's part of my like thesis or like world like game view of the game. Uh.
Okay, but we've like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if
Characters like this. Yeah.
I
I
was
think
gonna
we
say, I'm
talked about
pretty
this
sure that if I go to our well, the last time we've had you fight a Peach player,
Yeah.
um, I will find examples there where this does not happen though.
No. It is especially like in a stressful situation, right? Like
Hmm.
in friendlies, even like in the friendlies versus Triff, it happened because Triff is amazing at the game, and I felt like every time Triff was up, I couldn't like do anything. Uh, and whenever it was even, it felt like more of like we're actually playing melee, right? But I think part of it is that I don't stick to the game plan even if I'm losing or if I'm losing. Uh, Especially hard, right? Like being down. Well, even versus Peach, if I'm down a stock and she's at 100%, I start getting stressed out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe what we need is we need a way to like. I think we need a strategy for what we do in that spot.
Yeah.
Like both, like we need to. I think we need to attack this both at the practical level, like i.e., what do we do, but
And
also
then
and then also at the mental level, like i.e., how do we cope with that feeling of urgency, like we have to do something, and how do we like disassemble that so we can play with clarity and do the things we are actually supposed to do because
yeah.
or the
That's
things
what
that are more appropriate for the situation. So, do you happen to have like I know it's they were friendlies, but do you happen to have any of the matches with Triff?
versus Triff, yeah.
Ooh, okay, yeah, let's look at
Sure.
those.
Yeah. Let me find them. There were a lot of them, for the record. So
Yeah,
I can just look at like the
just
middle
grab it.
part of
Just send me like two or three of them, and we'll just take because I feel like they're gonna have a similar pattern in general, right?
yeah. I mean, probably.
That's our hypothesis. If we're wrong, then we'll look into it
Uh,
further.
uh okay. I picked three.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. I
Wonderful.
don't know anything about these games other than it's 2 losses and 1 win.
Oh, so you
That's
were
all.
taking games then?
I took 2 games total in 2 hours, but I did take a few games. And
I
I did
mean,
have a few other close games as well.
I mean, he's
But some
amazing.
games were dumpsterings, like like you wouldn't believe.
You know, I've been around for a while and I've been top 10 level too, so you'd be
Yeah,
surprised. I have a feeling I probably have a better idea than you might
yeah,
think.
maybe,
But
maybe,
possibly.
possibly. No, it's just like more dumpster than I've been by most anybody, really.
I hear that. That was me the first time I fought Mewtwo King. It was like that. I was just
Oh yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
oh my god, like get me out of here, get me out of this game. So one thing I want to actually throw out here. Do you think we use the shine too much?
I might, yeah. Getting shine on Aerial Peach is, in best case, does really nothing. Worst case, I die off
Okay,
it.
so
Right?
do you think that we're feeling the desperation here, or does it come later,
Um,
or like the
I don't think I
urgency?
feel it quite yet.
Okay, I'm gonna count on you to point out when you can when you think you'd feel it.
Shooting some lasers. Definitely not yet. That's for sure. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
this
playing
looks
safe.
good. So what happened here? I'm just curious. Like, so this I get, but like here,
Yeah,
what's
that's enough smash, right?
or shine? Like you can also double
Yeah.
shine. Like there's no hit. Like you know that there's no hitbox at about here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because that's like this is a big thing. The fact that there's no hitboxes should like automatically be like a really aggressive play.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna flag that as a small thing, like just no
Yeah.
hitbox.
I think that's more so, yeah, just lack of recognition in the scenario. And more so me doing the safe option because I didn't want to get. I did get reversaled by Parasol. Triff is very good at that. So that did happen a few times where I was too close to ledge. And I didn't want to let that happen, I'm pretty sure, right?
Right, but it's when she gets when she starts. She doesn't have
When
the
she
hit.
starts, when she hits the apex, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
so
like right before.
exactly. So that's why this works. So that's why we're flagging like the condition
Yeah.
as opposed to because we don't really need to dwell on this, but it's just good to call
Yeah,
out.
I know. I think that's a good like a reaction point to look at. Like, oh, it's her uppy. Okay, now she's like a peak height, right? I can hit her.
This is another
I
one.
won't-
This is another one. So when we get these weak hits, I feel like we need more of a plan for what we do with them. Because this also is a free kill.
Yeah, but obviously, I thought it would be a strong there.
Right. But what I'm saying here is, we should be prepared
Yeah.
for both outcomes.
There should be like a contingency for if I hit the weak nair.
Yeah.
Drift did mention that I was doing a bit, maybe too many aerials in place. But how I felt during the session was I was doing too many lunging drills.
So the biggest thing here is I feel like he's just being so the biggest spot that I'm noticing is when you're both really far from each other. So here,
Yeah.
watch what happens here. So he's moving away. Look at how uncomfortable you look with that distance.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it happens here again. Because, as soon as he gets away from you, like here, you're going to, go all in, or, yeah. Right about here.
Yeah.
So I would say the biggest thing here is we need to understand, how to, maneuver him, and, how to maneuver around him, and get him to, move where we want him to, based on how, he has to respond to our mid-range, movements. So, what let's actually break this down a little bit. So, when you advance, well, we have to go back a bit further. Yeah, this is good. So, what do you notice about him when you, dash forward?
When I advance, he moves back.
But not always.
Generally. Not always, but generally I felt that way. But sometimes but the time it was a lot of undershoots that were meant to bait me, like the float bear after I get hit here, hit by the after announcements and stuff. he does a float bear, and I just get baited by it.
Yeah, so like you can see that he's like there reaches a point where he stops backing up.
Yeah.
There's a like here.
Okay, here's the bear that bits me.
Yeah.
Not that one, but that one.
Yeah, so okay, cool. So I want to point something out here. Look at where he's placing his attack. Like when you get into this position, let's actually look at like how he places his attacks relative to you. So what you're going to like pull away. Cool. So it's when you're both here.
Yeah.
So at these distances, neither of you can hit each other. Like assuming you were both standing, neither of you can actually hit each other, right?
Nope.
Right. So this is like I'm gonna dip into like my boomer technology because I think
I love that.
Okay, cool.
Love the boomer technology.
So back in the day, before we had fancy reaction points and stuff that y'all have, we would have called this what we would have referred to this as is far spacing. So the idea behind far spacing is basically like it's the point at which neither player can hit the other with a standard quick movement. So like a wave dash, a dash forward, a standard jump forward, something like that, plus an attack. So like if we think about Peach's threat range, like her nair kind of like is a like her nair kind of moves like this, like with her full hop forward or back kind of goes like this. Her dash attack, dash attack would be like around here. Yeah, something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but like the idea here is that like dash attack hits about here, float cancel nair, like forward nair, like hits about here with the initial burst of movement. We also have her nair up here and here, which is also the same spots her bear. Like her bear and up air basically hit slightly different versions of this. So this is effectively like her threat zone, her threat bubble. From Fox's side, he has a bit more range, air quotes, because of his like higher speed. Which just basically means that his like basic movements take him further, and then that which compensates. Like his full hop kind of does like this, right? So he has like a bit more of like range on his like on his advancing jump, but at the end, but it's similar. He doesn't have that much more than her in this model. So like his nair probably hits like around here, kind of. It's smaller because it's more attached to his body, so that's we represent it with that. Then he's also got his like running shine, which goes to about here, like or about here-ish. So what we're noticing here is there's like a point of intercept. There's like a middle point between these characters that's about here, right?
Yeah.
So this is where we would consider the line of scrimmage. Like this is where all the action takes place in our in our older models. I think it's actually kind of useful to like recognize this this zone as being sort of like an uncertain zone that we're both kind of playing for, because it's really it really exists in about like this territory. Like where it is kind of up for debate, but we can agree it's here-ish.
Yeah.
Like we can agree it's here-ish. So I want you, with this in mind, I want you to take a look at how he places his attacks.
Okay. On the line. On the line. Okay. Yeah. I think all of those were on the line, about.
Right, because and they're all.
One was maybe a little bit further, but yeah.
It's exactly, and why do you think he's doing that? What do you think the significance of him poking
that
here
is? That is the farthest way I can go, right? So if I decide to run in when he places that aerial, I will lose, right? Because he is hitting me exactly where I reach.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like
That's actually such a good, such a good like threat zone assessment. I feel like, but I guess Trip has played a bajillion Foxes, so
what I
don't feel like I have this image in my head. Right?
But now that you have it, it makes perfect sense, and it probably explains some of the struggles you've had versus like more defensive player, like versus like Zelda, because she just like basically camps here and then like puts her attacks in on the line.
Right.
So
question is, how do we break the line?
Oh, that's easy. The line only works. So let me ask you.
You move closer, but not into the line, right? Like if you move, yeah. Right, exactly, and then you can like up smash the Zelda or Short up air or whatever. Yeah, or the peach.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think. Wow.
It's just so
That's
it's
interesting.
so clear, right?
Y- It seems so obvious, right? But when you don't have the line in your head, it's you know.
Yeah. So this is like so what I would say then is the accompanying concept, which we'll use fox will be orange for this,
Yeah.
would be called close spacing. So close spacing is
Mhm.
basically when the opponent is within range of like a standard attack plus a quick movement. So like at
So
this
what we
dist
would call is that what we would call an reactable range, or maybe not quite?
So remember, these are older terms. So
Yeah.
I would say that we didn't really have reaction points, for
No,
example.
right.
So we used the edge of like characters' threat zones like a lot more liberally, and that turned out to be wrong, like
Yeah.
straight up. But I would say that like this. Because we can hit her with her like advancing nair from here, which is pretty difficult to react because we're gonna dash jump it.
Is the square a jump?
Oh, the square is where Fox starts from.
Okay, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, once we've dashed there, right? Yeah.
Yes, because we're going from here to here.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, where do we dash here? We set up shop here. Like we probably like dash dance in this general spot, like maybe like probably tight movements, like maybe like here and here kind of thing. And then yeah, we would like advancing jump from here, so that this is now suddenly a threat zone where we can apply pressure to them. But we're also keeping the option to like tease the line as well, because we can get close to it and then pull away from it. So like we have a lot of power in this spot based on our ability to kind of like play with the edge, because her this is still her effective range. This is still
Yeah.
where her like effective threat zone
Yeah.
is. So we're just teasing it.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard fiction say that a threaten is more powerful than a commitment, right? Because you get the same information, right? Like if I run into the line and Triff immediately does like float bear in place or something, then I dash back out, I would get the same information if I dashed in and jumped aerial, right?
Yeah.
Like I would get oh, you know, I would get the okay, I just got float bared. I know he's gonna like he likes aerial in place when I threaten that dash, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you get it without the risk, without the I was gonna say the pain of data management, which is or like data information gathering,
Right.
which is getting hit for being like for finding out stuff.
Right, and here's the other thing I'd throw in. So, if we stop here, or pivot, or shield pivot, or whatever, and full hop like this, you can see how this like also creates like a really uncomfortable trajectory for her, right? Because we have the option to like fall onto her zone, but we also have the option to like leave at any point too. So like this is why Fox's full hop is such a powerful opener. Like it's the ability to test these ranges while still backing out to other retreat zones, or just pulling away with his drift to outspace. Like this is Fox's full hop in when you play it in this way, it kind of serves the function of a whiff punish and an undershoot together. That is
Yeah.
why it's like that's why it's so powerful.
Yeah, it is like a dash dance that you can always dash away, but you're also like it's crazy. You're in the process of attacking and also dash dancing kind of at the same time,
Which is
right?
why
Because you can always get away.
exactly. This is why I get offended when people ask me, is Fox an offensive character or a defensive character? So I'm like, imagine Fox being
A
limited
little
by
bit of
that.
both. A little bit of both.
It's like, imagine him being limited by concepts like that. Couldn't be me. And you can see, like, okay, so this is another example. So, like, again, we have, like, a more vertical version of far spacing. But, like, look, so where would the line be from when you start on the platform, where would the line be based on your positions?
From here,
Yeah.
I said there's a vertical line about. Okay, depends on Peach. Maybe where
Well, she's
I
gonna
can hit
she's
it.
gonna stop here, right? She's gonna float. So, like, we know that
If
this is
she's
her
up
position.
there, I'd say like yellow star about.
Maybe like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. So I would put it like around here, and it's kind of like slanted. But yeah,
It
like
is slanted, right? Yeah.
because like neither of you can actually get to each other. So you, even though you have more threat zone, like even though you have like a farther threat range because of your like dash jumps and like longer jumps in general, you still can't get to her in one motion. So you're both still technically at far range. Therefore, the fighting is still about like how do you like push her around, or like bait her, or get her to like flinch as you approach the line. Unless you're actually willing to straight up read where she goes. The problem with attacking from far range is that she can see you doing the jump, adjust based on how you come at her, and then like plan accordingly. Mm-hmm. She has too much room essentially to see how you come at her, and look what she does. She capitalizes.
Yep.
But now imagine, let's rewind this. Let's imagine we just didn't go all the way in. Like, we just land here, we understand that the line is here, and we dash back.
Do we have time to dash back?
Yeah, you're actionable right now. So you'd be like here.
Yeah.
So we like dash back, she's holding the turnip, she lands, we just like go run over and like up smash or grab or like jab or whatever, like we just pop off on her.
Mm.
And you can like, and this is I think why you're I think this is part of why like these ledge stalling opponents also don't make sense to you sometimes, because like that middle, remember the ledge restricts their effective range, right?
Yeah.
But you have your full ground movement to work with and your full dash jump to work with. So you have way more like you can have somebody be in close range, i.e. you can have them be in range of your like standard movement plus attack while you are not in range of
not
theirs.
an equal line, right?
Yeah, exactly. So their line, like the line is not always so like perfectly like distributed between both characters.
Yeah, I feel like especially like Falcon ends up in situations like that where his dash jump nair hits someone when they cannot hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Which usually I would say for the other character then, like you either have to close the space so that you can both attack each other, or move farther away so he can't attack you without you being able to attack him, right?
Or you have to put out hitboxes that beat the
nair. Or you try to whiff punish the lunge, right?
Well, it would be an undershoot, but yeah, like you have the right idea. Like okay. Basically, what we're doing is because he can hit us and we can't hit him, we have to defend our space, get close.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds right. I mean, giving up space isn't the wrong choice sometimes, right? Like,
no, definitely not.
Sometimes you have to give up space to not get hit.
I would say in general it's safer to like stay in place or move forward versus Captain Falcon, but like again, we're dealing with a character who just like that's just because of how his powers work out, but it's not, I'm not going to say there aren't situations where you don't move back versus him. It's like something I watched with Vish was a moment of Jmook versus Joshman, where Joshman like plays outside the boost grab for like a couple interactions, and he was like, and Vish was like, like what do you think about that? And I'd say I think it's usually wrong to do it this way, but given that like they're both at the point where one hit kills either of them, I think it makes sense to value not getting hit and not taking the risk and see if he hangs himself a different way, like not losing on a random exchange is really important here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Fiction mention that in regards to wobbling ice climbers, where it's like a different game when you have that good of a punish game, right? Like, you end up having to you play more carefully because your opening is more important, more impactful, right? Like, in the sense that you don't need to be taking every chance to get an opening. Rather try to not get opened up on, and then you will like mathematically probably do well, right? I won't say win necessarily, but like do well if you're not getting opened up on and you have a really strong punish game.
Yeah, so this is exactly. This is a point. This is another situation where we can kind of apply far spacing. So, since neither, like, from where she was, if we go back just a couple of seconds, like, I went too far. Okay, we'll do this slowly. So when you get on the platform, that's like really the key here. Okay, so with where you two are, and like with where she moves with her like hyperfloat basically,
Yeah.
neither of you can hit each other.
Nope.
Because you would need to full hop and then do an additional motion, I think, to get her, right?
Yeah.
Because she's just barely outside up air.
Yeah, I would have to double jump. Yeah.
So like, what I would say here is, how if we wanted to threaten her, how do you think we could go about doing it?
I think doing full hop fast fall is not a bad idea. It's sort of like moving into her line, right? In the same manner as you would on the ground, except you're doing it with a jump. But also the fast fall after, just because you want to like get back down quickly, so you can respond appropriately to how she reacts to it.
You know what? I love that. The only change I'd make is let's not commit to the fast fall in advance.
Okay.
So the way I would look at this is like, I would probably turn because I'm interested in sharking with bear.
Yeah.
So turn around, full hop, like smash turn, full hop back, cool. And I would just like align myself like here, and just kind of like drift with her. So like if she heads this way, I follow her. If she heads this way, I drift this way. And it's just a matter of like, what does she do? How does she move? Yeah. Like, does she give me, like, does she put herself in the path of my back air? She's hyper floated this way, so I'm imagining she's going to keep moving this way because it would be hard for her to slow down and change directions at this point. But like, if I go to about here and then she goes to about here, like she continues moving as expected, I'm quite happy to not like fast fall, because I want to occupy this vertical territory and make it so that she has to consider my double jump if she decides to come down. By fast falling early, I tell her where she can go, because she sees me fast fall down here, she just goes here. So I want it, like, the idea I want to stress here is that sometimes it actually...
Oh, I meant fast fall back to the platform. Back to the top plat.
Okay, so let's play that out.
Doing
so
a full up from there, and then...
So then she goes here.
Fall back down.
So then she goes here.
Does she have time to just get down there that fast? That's right.
Look at how quickly she comes down.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
okay.
This is no. This is good, because what I'm getting at here is sometimes it gets tempting to think that we have, like, fast fall can be good there. Like, ironically, your play is actually good because she did back air. Because in that case, like, you'll full hop, you'll land it here, and then what you do is like you then run off and
jump up there, whatever.
Right.
Maybe up there even. You can get her from there, for sure.
Or you could even fall through the top platform and land below her. So then,
yeah, I get that. Yeah, threaten up tilt.
Yeah. So because Triff committed to the back air, your full hop fast fall is actually quite good. If we don't back air, because that's what gives us our flexibility to like choose how we like get under her and stuff. But if he doesn't commit, then it's awkward, because we don't want to like attack into him. Like, we don't want to be the one who like to kind of overextend first, right? So this is where this dynamic gets really interesting. But what I want to stress here is, by not fast falling immediately, we can also scout that back air a little more effectively and potentially like bonk her on the head or something. We can always fast fall later. We can't, like, the thing about height in this game with falls is that once we fast fallen, we can't really stop unless we're willing to burn our double jump, assuming we have it. So if there's a space we want to occupy to threaten her or push her somewhere, it's easier to not fast fall until we have to, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does make sense, but I'm just like...
I'm a bit unsure.
Okay. So let me see if I can explain this. So let's say that, like, from this position, because you go for this up air, right? So I'm saying, what if we back air this, like, turn and back air around here, right?
Yeah.
Until, like, we can see her go for this bear, I'm saying that we don't have to necessarily fast fall with her, because we can just fall around here. Do you see what I mean? Like, you're going to go, you reach the peak of your jump around here. So what I'm saying is we could jump like this and just kind of like fall with her. I don't see why we would have to fast fall yet. Until, because if she doesn't, she's fast fallen, I think. But if she didn't fast fall this, then we stay closer to her by not fast falling. So it kind of covers both of them.
And we also have, we have double jump ready. So we can get that double jump bear if it's
needed,
applicable. Yeah.
So you see what I mean? Like, whereas if we fast fall and she doesn't fast fall, we're gonna like land so much sooner than her.
We land and she gets to kind of reset the situation, right? Like
probably on top platform, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, because she's in a bad position here, being that far up, right? Like, it's not great. Even if Peach is like slightly better than like a Martha or Luigi from way up there, I'd say I agree. I think that's smart.
Yeah, like this is a Sheik thing. Funnily enough, like we have to do this.
That makes...
Yeah, because we have that. So
I'm pretty sure I've seen Sheik Peach, Sheiks do that in Sheik Peach for sure. Like fall down with them.
I want to see the game you win now, because like that
that is the game I win, the FUD game.
Oh, I thought it had that Triff won this one.
No.
Oh wait, he quits out. Oh, okay. Never mind. I want to see this in full then. So let's get back to where we were. Something I'm noticing here, because you were a bit further back. Like we were around here. Yeah. So how does this sharking situation play out from here? Yeah, we weren't actually that far in. So you go over there, got it. Then this happens.
Shoot a couple lasers at really far range.
Yeah, and I think we can see, like, I think that if we could do it over again, do you think you'd shoot the next laser, or do you think you'd be, like, playing around this range, knowing that we've, like...
I would like to close a bit of space when I have the, when I make her go forward with the laser, right? Like, yeah. I am doing something to make her proactive, but I'm not really... like, I'm not getting full advantage out of the situation I create, right?
Right.
Same with the Dreamland, like, edge guarding thing, where I create a really good situation for myself, like, several times, and I don't take full advantage.
Yeah. And I think that we're now starting to see what the utility of the laser actually is, because, like, what it does is it forces the opponent to play with us in a way that, like, pulls them towards the line of scrimmage. So then it makes a lot of sense that we would then like structure our game plan around like covering them.
If you go a little bit back, I don't know how I got that much damage on Peach.
So you get
the situation.
So you get this nair, up tilt, up air. You go up. So this. Oh, you get the anti-air up tilt, and then you just keep on her.
Yeah, that's almost what we talked about.
Yeah, it's like a version of it. It's like not exactly, but yeah, it has like a lot of those concepts in there for sure. And like you can see how I would actually say that you're doing a good job of like threatening the line of scrimmage here, because like
but it's not with that in mind. It's my like just intuition based on having played a bunch of melee, right?
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, your intuition is good there. We want to, like, we want to expand on that. We want to, like, deepen that spot.
But the thing is, I want to be able to explain why I made that decision, right? And having that line as that visual image, or, like, the mental image to myself, where I'm like, okay, so the line is here. I move there to threaten the line, because I know Peach can only attack until here, right? Like... stuff like that, instead of it feels right to threaten here, and it feels right, because it feeling right is not necessarily conducive, because then stuff feels right where I'm completely wrong, right? You know, happens all the time.
Yeah, No, and like the thing is, like our brain is synthesizing so much information. Not all of it is like so much information at once. What we're really trying to do is we're trying to like help it see what information is most important.
Yeah, it's like a filter, right?
Precisely.
And I think how much should I think about the line? Is the line like a thing I should conceptualize in most matchups, or is it
every character? I mean, like
so?
it's like, so remember, the line is going to change depending on like the line is a representation of their threat range. It's more about their threat range. So like it's because our threat we know our threat range basically. Like we know how long our moves are and how much reach we need to get. Exactly. So the line is more about how far, like where they can hit us from, and how we bait them in that position, how we bait them into swinging at that spot. I would say it's useful. No, it's useful. Like most low tiers are pretty straightforward because they only have a handful of moves that are any good.
Yeah.
So I would say every matchup, there is a line.
The matchups where it's like the hardest to implement is probably the Ditto, I'd say, because the Ditto is really fast and the line would change like a tremendous amount, right? But having a general idea of where their attacks reach, I think is fine there too as well.
Agreed.
Good. But I'd assume like versus floaties and maybe and Marth and stuff like that, characters that can't really like full on hard approach you.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda.
Yeah. So let's look at this spot with the line in mind. Let's look at this spot because I think that this spot is actually a good one.
Oh, this is a somewhat. Is this a diagonal line?
Well, let's think about. So let's think about like where she hits.
So where can Peach hit? She can fare into about Yep. She can fare down that way. Yes. She can do Nair down. That's
similar way. She could also move forward with it. But like she doesn't move as fast forward, so she could probably put it about here.
Yep. And then you have well, from there I'd say that's about it as far as immediate attack actions, right?
Yeah, if you want to recognize the existence of down air, you can. But like, this is about it. Like,
not here. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Not in any sense that down air would be able to reach me if I'm not actively like in a scramble or like in close space, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is where Fox's full hop. So let me ask you. So with this in mind, knowing that the line is going to be like around this point.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if Fox were to full hop back like this?
I would assume that Peach would flow forwards and at least flow forwards at the very least.
Okay, but
maybe
like
not attack, but move forwards.
Okay, so Fox goes to here, and then if she doesn't attack, like if she she floats to around here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but then you just board the platform and you're fine.
Yeah.
And what if she let's say that she thinks you're gonna go here, and she swings it here. Well, now we're in a perfect spot to punish her, right?
Yeah.
Because then we can just fall on her, and if she does come too far forward, we can also we can the other cool thing is if she comes forward
if we fall down, would you recommend? Is it like an anti-air up tilt type thing?
We could also double jump back here.
Oh yeah.
We could double jump away from her and back here, here.
Oh right, I forget that. Yeah, you can double jump punish like that, or you can use double jump to punish like that. That's falling down.
Yeah, so this is so you see how our threat range doesn't really matter here in a way.
No.
What I would say that sometimes if you want to apply offensive pressure here though, you totally can, because the way that looks is, remember, she's in your full hop near range, so or full hop aerial range, so we can also just take the fight to her and maybe this is a fair, maybe this is a nair. I'm not sure which one, but
I'd say nair.
Yeah, because we can like hit her. Like we can get. We want to probably keep the jump like somewhat further. Like we don't want to go like all the way forward, but maybe like pretty forward, kind of like this. I think.
I think doing the doing that full lunge is easier to get hit out of.
Yeah, we want the nair out we want the nair out at this point at latest, so that it kind of just like we can just kind of like drag it forward like so. Because I think that this makes sense, like attacking this zone, where she is, because then we can also land on the platform after if we like miss and then like run off it. And stuff like
in
that.
terms of this image, I'd maybe label the colors. Because there's a lot of colors.
Yeah, it's true. So I'll clean I can clean this up. That's not a problem. Yeah. But let's do. Okay, so we'll make this one. We'll make this one like nair. So.
Yeah. Nair moves down from there.
Let's actually just make this like nair, like this full hop nair a different color altogether, so that this will be clearer. So this is nair. Yeah. So nair. And then with this, we'll just update that as well. Delete this one. Cool. So nair makes sense here. We'll get rid of this darker one. That's cleaner. This blue one is back here, so that we'll label. So bear. And then DJ, or DJ bear. And then, yeah, the purple one is, the darker purple one is just full hop bear.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Sure. Okay, awesome. Because, like, her options are straightforward, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, her options make sense. It's just there was a lot of figures at once. And I just imagined myself looking at that image in 2 months' time and being like, what is going on here?
So how do you win this game? Like, what's the open... Oh, is that what does it? Yeah. I see why he rage quit. I'm assuming it was him. Because you got him with roll shine. Absolutely godlike. So...
I love roll shine. It's so stupid. Roll through the turnip shine.
To be fair, he went for a very cheeky punish.
Yeah.
Like, he tried to pivot down smash you, so... Okay. Yeah. So, we can look at the last match. If you want to. This means that we won't have time for play. I'm fine with that.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to... I wanted some help in... because I know now I'm supposed to visualize the line, but how exactly do I work towards visualizing it? Like, I was gonna say it fast, but like effectively, right? Like, I'm not necessarily that good at seeing like structures, or I can like kind of intuitively know where a threat zone is, but the actual threat zone doesn't become like immediately obvious when I'm playing a set, right?
Easiest way? What is there like, so if we take Mario here, because he's a pretty, so like how would you do it versus Mario, you think? Like, give me your best guess.
Wave dash down smash, right? So
hell yeah.
Yeah. I'd say about wave dash length. Which I think I can visualize. I feel like versus Luigi also is quite easy.
What I want to point out here is, also, look at how far his like short up nair goes, right? It's almost the same distance as this.
Yeah. I'd imagine where dash F tilt also around the same distance. A little bit further.
Yeah. So, like, the line, I would say, is, like, a little bit outside his, like, wave dash length. Like, it's around his wave dash length, because, like, this is, because the old model gave too much room for characters in general. Yeah. What I would say here is how we would update it is we would take more of, like, what happens within 15 frames. Like, if they have a movement plus an attack that happens within 15 frames, like, within 15 frames... What is that attack? Because, like, that will give us, like, things like this. It'll give us things like this. It'll give us this. It'll give us this. But not like this. Because, like, this would be something we can just, like, dance outside of. Yeah. Because we can see the wave dash coming at him. But, like, this is, like, a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. So that's how I would look at it. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can kind of like see where the bubble is. Like if we go to Pokemon Stadium, like you can see where the bubble would be. Let's use let's use a slightly more interesting character. Let's go with her.
Ooh.
I know, right? So like, how do you think you would do it versus her?
Versus her, I think it's hard. I don't know. Her drift is so good. It's got to be like.
Let's start her here. On the Pokeball.
I'd say. I mean, about her. Yeah, about the end of the other side of the Pokeball, right?
Yeah. Like it's basically where does her rising back air hit?
Yeah. And it hits about a Pokeball size.
Yeah, like
maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, like where can she back air while still being able to double jump, basically?
Yeah.
Or auto cancel, I guess. Because like if she has to like wait further, then like
that's punishable as hell.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
I'll cancel it.
Exactly. So it's like, where does her auto cancel back air goes? And the reason we know this is because she's weird. But because she moves so far and can like change it so much. But again, max distance is all about like, it's almost like when she starts falling. Where does her like falling aerial not go?
Where does her falling aerial not go?
Yeah, like it's almost like, it's kind of like, I would say that it's not even the full length of the Pokeball. It's like around here, I guess, which is, and then her back air hits here. So if that's what you mean, that makes, okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think, because the back air is so disjointed, right? You want to play outside the back air itself, not just where she ends up.
Yeah, but what I want to point out here is, like, look at how, like, I'd say that, like, it's actually, like, a little bit, like, less than what we anticipated, because you can see that, like, once she gets to the middle of the Pokeball, it doesn't really extend all the way to the edge of the Pokeball either.
You're right.
Because
it goes to, like, 75% through about...
Yeah, 70, 80%, like, in there somewhere.
In there somewhere.
Because it's like really, it's at the peak of her, like, because this kind of follows our model. Like if we count if we turn frame counter on, like I think that this will conform mostly to it. Let's just see, yeah, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because that would be about 15, 16, right?
Yeah.
So it's about here. So there's kind of like a field around her, if we can think of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard the bubble theory. I've heard of several, like, people have their own way of visualizing.
There's
threat zones.
Right, but what we're doing here is we're just basically we're just finding the point at which we can't conceivably
right? It's their peak threat.
Mm-hmm. And we only need to know their longest move.
Yeah.
Like their longest move available in the stance that they're in. What's difficult, honestly, I think the hard part about her, if we put Fox up here, is this crap. Like her double jump back air.
Oh yeah.
Because like you see how she like builds to like max velocity just like immediately. This is, I think, why Jigglypuff is actually crazy. Because, like, we'll just put this on. So when she, like, double jump back air is, like, her max airspeed, like, going in either direction is, like, oh, wait, that's not full 1.0. Yeah, it's, like, 1.35 whatever. 1.350. When she double jumps into her aerial, she just builds that immediately.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely been hit by a few of those.
Yeah, but the crazy part is if she doesn't hold all the way, it doesn't build it. So she actually has like a lot of like, because you can see the stick coordinate, it changes it. But like, so that's part of why Hungrybox is so good with this character, because so you have to know what the max distance on her double jump back air is, and if she delays it, she can get like more distance out of it. Like if she delays it with her double jump back, she gets more distance. You see what I mean? Like, I'm not double jumping into back air immediately. There's, like, a bit of a delay. And she still builds it up to it, like, immediately upon doing the back air. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. But but it's still the same principle. It's just because she's already in the air, she's faster, so we have to compensate accordingly. That's all.
Right. But is my focus now working on building a how you say it, like a mental like model for how these like structures exist within. I know it's a janky way to say it, but
Yeah.
am I looking to try to find these lines when I'm playing?
I think that, yeah, try to visualize where, like, try to like estimate or gauge where it would be. It's more important at, like, I think with you especially, I wouldn't worry too much about it when you're in close quarters. You're usually pretty good about that as it is.
Yeah.
I would focus on it more when, or like,
In the far range.
when you're both really far from each other. Exactly. So like, right.
Far space.
So like with how you, like, here, watch how you enter the fight from this side, from over here, right? Like, this to me is wonderful. This is a great recognition of like how your threat zones and like options line up with her down here and you up here. This is good. Where things go downhill is when you two are far away from each other, like really far away from each other. Because, like, okay, it's like, this is good. Like, that was, you didn't get the hit, but the fighting itself makes sense. Like, what you're doing is, like, fairly sensible. You're falling on her with back air. It's just, we didn't time the fall or back air, like, as how we needed to. This full hop up air over here, though, this is, like, what I'm talking about. So, like, look at what happened here. There's no way you can possibly reach her from here, and she just, like, moves out of the way and punishes you.
Yeah.
So that's where you need to be doing it. Those kinds of situations. Yeah. When you're already in the fight, like you're already in close, like one or both of you have the opponent in close quarters, like, or in closer range or hittable range, like that's when you're fine there. It's mainly like these like that one happened to work out, but you can see how there's still like that impulse to just like attack right away.
Yeah.
And it only worked because he also attacked with something something slower. But, like, yeah, this is the kind of spot where we need to be, like, thinking about that.
Yeah, I've just been taught that those nairs are, from platform versus Peach, are incredibly good.
They are.
Into that kind of float, yeah. I mean, obviously, right? But I was just trying to do them. At that point, this is one of the games where, stuff's gonna get bad now.
Yeah, and I bet it's gonna all be the same thing. Like, here, look at how he sets up this trap. So he's in far, like, he's got far spacing. You're not really sure what to do, so you kind of like take a passive line. But like, this is too, you can see how this is too passive because the line's actually pretty close to both of you. It's around here. So by you shooting this laser, it gives him all the time to just like get his thing to like land safely with turnip, and then he like works with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he missed that. This is good. And this is what I mean. Like, when you're actually in the fight, you're quite good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like, this is all textbook. This is exactly what I would tell someone to do in these spots versus Peach. Oh. Missing the up smash is kind of a bummer, but, like, it happens. But, like, the fact that you went for it, you were clearly, like, posturing for it, which is good. And then you get the up air, like, nair up air. All of that is wonderful.
To do more of the instant stuff, or, like, the call-out stuff that we talked about. Don't be afraid to, like, try to hit him. Or, like, in certain, if you can hit him, don't be afraid to, like, try to hit someone in the shark.
Mm-hmm. No, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, my Shark Kings become absolutely... Triff, of course, is much better in not getting sharked than the players I usually play, but I'm sharking a lot of people very hard.
Mm-hmm. No, it shows.
And I'm really enjoying it.
I would actually
also,
say
it's
that
making FD better for me, or like more enjoyable.
Honestly, this match has not until this point. This match has not gone the way I thought it would. But like you see, like now we're in the far spacing. Like there's no way that we can possibly hit him guaranteed. And
no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, this is more so. what we expected. And,
So how did this last hit happen? So he's away from you. Okay, yeah, you're just reaching basically.
yeah, I'm just reaching. I'm reaching really hard.
And now we know how, and we know like why it's reaching, and we now know how to like kind of like plan accordingly, like how to like
I
play in
think the
as an
fact
alternate.
that because I knew it was reaching, right, but I didn't exactly know how to remedy and like yeah.
I'm really glad we like looked at this from a mechanical perspective because like this really just feels like honestly this just feels like a knowledge gap to me. I don't think that there's anything like especially like choky about what you're doing versus him. I just think that
No.
like you're feeling the pressure of a situation that you don't know how to solve and you're just like attacking it with like what you have, which is totally understandable.
Right. But when I'm more comfortable, I'm less likely to like even I'm more likely to just end up in the positions I like to fight, right? Which is usually what happens when I when I do well versus a floaty, right? But then
Yeah, you
if
have
I'm
really good
doing
moments
bad, I
here.
get pressured into situations. Uh yeah,
Yeah,
I think this happens in a lot more matchups than just Peach and Zelda.
agreed.
Actually, I think this is what I was thinking about with the lead situation. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think you I hit the nail on the head here.
Yeah, like to me, this is just like yeah, which makes perfect sense too. Like if we think about it, because like when somebody's ahead, they usually hang back, right? Because they want to play with like they want to play with the like they want to at least represent the burden of approaching to the fox. Whether or not Fox has to approach is like up for debate, but like it's I think that like conceptually we can agree that he has to go over at some point, even if he takes like a million damage in lasers. Like even if he like deals a million damage in lasers, he still has to like take that hit to catch up. So you know, technically he has to engage at some point if we want to be like super literal about it. And as a result of that, you know, you're feeling the burden of having to do that, but you don't know how to cross the like that long territory, like the
Yeah.
really far zone. Now we have a way of doing it. Yeah, I don't think that this is a honestly. I'm glad we explored it because I would have been. My instinct was this is mentality. Like I think this is mentality, but after seeing that, no, this is mechanics.
Yeah,
Clearly
I mean
mechanics.
it's hard to realize sometimes what is actually just me tilting. Of course, I do get tilted when I lose the situation over and over again, right? Like like I did in some of these scenarios. But I still think that uh it was mostly mechanical, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, you know what, and this is why why having like a second set of eyes, or like
Yeah.
to anyone who is watching this who doubts the value of what like you know I do with people like with you know lovely talented players like Rich and such, it's really like a lot of it is just the back and forth I think, and having like a second set of eyes to you know kind of like test our assumptions and like approach it from a different angle so we kind of like get a little bit closer to what's really going on. Because yeah, like I have my biases, you have yours, and it's really just you know what we are doing is we are trying to like use these two different perspectives to break down the situation and arrive at what the truth is. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is I think the truth here is pretty self-evident. Like
Yeah.
I look for like I think that you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, I think I am too.
All right.
Okay. Before you go,
Mm-hmm.
I want to show you because you're using there's someone made a new Uncle Punch with updated features.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some bug fixes. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay, so I am ancient. So how do I download? So I have to. How do I
Oh,
download? Where's
okay.
install device kit pro? Okay, got it. I see that there is a set of instructions. Cool,
Yeah, there is a release.
perfect. So let me ask you, what are some of the features that you've noticed that are really helpful to you here?
In the training lab CPU is like pretty reworked. To the point where like and you also have like complete control over teching percent and get up attack percent in the training lab on the CPU. There's an entire menu for CPU tech percentage and uh, so I think it's way better for RTC. He's also gonna try to make a real RTC event. The guy doing this, SDI, DI, more random DI options, CPU shield angling. Those are the big things.
Okay,
Uh,
that's awesome.
and you also have the there's a Gecko code I have that makes tech animations invisible after the point of which you can react to them.
Oh, so
So
on like frame
basically,
5 and stuff. That is so
yeah,
cool.
and that is just part of the Uncle Punch.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing this. I am going.
Yeah, no
I've already
problem.
downloaded it, and I'll like extract. Like when I'm done coaching today, I'll like definitely play around with it. And if I have
Yeah,
questions, I'll bug you. But like,
yeah, for sure.
this is hype, and yeah, I'll let you go for now. But like, take care, and yeah, let me know how things go. I'll see you in 2. Okay.
Thank you. See ya.